Anytime we talk about winter operations, you've got to talk about snow chains. And to help us out, we've got shop foreman Mike Hendricks. Mike, I know in the past we've had a few problems putting snow chains on apparatus. Can you talk about some of the do's and don'ts of putting the snow chains on?
Well, the most important thing is make sure you have the right size chains for the truck. You want to inspect them, make sure they're in good shape. And then the installation of them is real important because there's you can put them on real loose and they'll fall off. Once they are put on, they need to be checked after a few miles of driving on the tires.
Let's take a look and see how it's done.
Okay, first thing you want to do, take your chains out, lay them out, inspect them, make sure all the links are in good shape. There's none that are broke or wore too bad. Once you get it laid out, you want to make sure that the loops on the ends of the chains are not facing the tire. You want the smooth side facing the tire, that way it's not going to wear the tire out. So when it's facing up, your chain should look like this with smooth ends towards the tire. This particular set of chains actually has a cam system to take tension out of the chain. You're just going to rotate this around. Something that will help make it easier for the chains to install them. Take a block of wood about halfway between the chain, the length of the chain, drive the truck up on the block, and it makes it a little bit easier to get the chain wrapped around the tire. Okay, now we got the chains laid out under the truck. Make sure they're laid out flat, make sure your links are not twisted or anything like that. And then you're going to have someone, you can either drive forward or you can drive backwards. But if you go about halfway into the length of the chain, stop on top of the block, then it makes it a little easier to get on to hook up the chain. Okay, the main thing is take up as much slack as you can before you start setting your cams. You want to take up the inner link here as far as you can. Once you think you have it tight, work your cross links around up to the point where you can take up as much slack as possible. Once you have all the slack out that you think you do, rotate your cams over where they'll lock in place. First two are probably going to be pretty easy. The last one, you're probably going to have to use the key. Just rotate it around. Wrong way. Okay, right there you have pretty much all the slack out of it right now. Okay, if you have links of chain from after you've taken all your slack, just run your bungee strap through the last link, run it up through one of your links on the side, and then tie it off. That way you don't have this flopping around damaging the aluminum wheel or the wheel cover.